Welcome to week 5 of Hope, a series designed to bring hope during these difficult times. And to be honest, tonight, I don't want to share something that I've read, something that I've learned, but just something that God has shown me over this time and helped me get through. Because this time has been extremely difficult. It started about a month ago, right as the coronavirus was ramping up in the United States of America. I got a call from my aunt that my grandfather wasn't going to make it much longer. If you remember, this was the same grandfather that I shared about during our dating series, who had been with my grandmother for 70 years, who had been just such a great picture of what it meant to be in a loving relationship with someone else. And he's dying. And I'm going to be honest, it was hard. I was able to make it up there to spend a few days with him before he passed, but as he was in hospice care next to my grandmother, I wasn't able to be there. We weren't able to have any kind of funeral or any kind of celebration of life. He had to die alone. And also on top of this, the last couple of weeks, I've been dealing and helping encourage some of my best friends as their father died. In fact, we had the funeral just a couple days ago. It's been tough. On top of all this with the coronavirus. Now, if you remember back to when we kicked off 2020, we cast the vision of this year. What if we allowed God to fill us up so much, fill us up to overflowing, to where God was working in our city, in our lives, in the overflow of what he was doing in us. I said it like this: we want Jesus to work in you, to work through you, to work around you. But I gotta be honest. At the start of this coronavirus thing, when we're social distancing and when we're having to stay at home, man, I was really struggling. It was as if my cup was full of holes. It was as with whatever little was being poured in. As soon as that little was being poured in, it was going straight out. And I was empty. I gotta be honest. I was in some severe depression. If you know me and know my story, I don't just get bad days. Sometimes I get really depressed where I didn't want to be around anyone, wanted to distance myself even from my family, didn't even want to participate in anything they were doing. And as I was sitting there and just thinking about things, it was as if God spoke to me and God brought hope. And that's the same hope I want to bring to you guys today. And here's what he said. He said, in this difficult time, Todd, you got to stay close to me. And here's what I've learned, guys. Stay close to Jesus. Stay close to Jesus. See, in these difficult times, when it's not only that we have a cup, but it's like our cup is full of holes because there's so much going on, because it's so difficult, it's even more important to stay under Jesus, to allow him to pour his joy, to pour his love into us. Listen to what David said in Psalm 23. He said this. He said, "The Lord is my shepherd. I have all that I need. He lets me rest in green meadows." See, here's the picture I had from that verse for years, up until this week. It was the picture of just a lush, green, beautiful grass that God brings us to, and we as the sheep get to sit there and just experience this wonderful environment. But you know what? That wasn't the case at all. See, here what you're seeing, these are the green pastures, the lush green meadows in Israel. You don't see much grass there. Why? Because the life of a sheep is hard. But what you also don't see is you don't see any sheep dying. You don't see any sheep that look malnourished, that are thin. Why? Because they're able to follow their shepherd. And he's able to bring them day by day, moment by moment, to little green patches of grass that they're able to eat and get their sustenance and get their fill. Why? Because they're following their shepherd, because they're staying close to him. And David writes in verse 5, he says this, "My cup overflows with his blessings, overflows with the blessings of the shepherd. Jesus himself says this, I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd sacrifices his life for the sheep. I can't tell you enough. In these times, at all times, stay close to Jesus. Because when you stay close to Jesus, no matter how many holes are in your cup, it can still overflow. See, this hose here represents the love, the blessing, the joy that Jesus pours out. And it's always running, it's always available. And it just depends on how close we stay to him. Because no matter how many holes are there, if we stay close enough to Jesus, we can still overflow. Look at what he says in the day before his crucifixion in John chapter 15. He says, yes, I am the vine and you are the branches. Those who remain in me and I in them will produce much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing. He goes on to say this. He says, I've told you these things, the things that he just said, to stay, remain in him, to stay close to him, so that you will be filled with my joy. Yes, your joy will overflow. See, in these difficult times, we can stay close to Jesus. And Jesus can fill us up. Not just fill us up, but fill us up to overflowing, so that our joy, so that our love can overflow into the lives of others. And so my hope is that you will, like me, stay close in Jesus. Stay close to Jesus. See, since that day when I was in such a depressed state, I've tried to stay close to Jesus. So what have I done? Man, I stayed close to him by reading the Bible with some of my friends over text message. But probably the biggest thing that's helped me stay close to Jesus is just finding music that's uplifted me and helped keep my cup full. I've shared a whole playlist with you guys down here, some of the songs that I want to challenge you just to go to YouTube and check them out. But I want to share with you guys just a song right now. One of my new favorite songs is called The Blessings. And I want you to hear Rebecca, our worship leader, sing it right now. And then don't forget, after you listen to this song, after you sing it along with her, to make sure you come on at 7:30 for the after show on Instagram.
God, we thank you that you are all around us and beside us and within us, that nothing that we could ever do or anything in this world that could happen that could change that. So Jesus, we love you and we just thank you for all the things you've done for us and the things that are yet to come. And it's in your beautiful name we pray. Hey, thank you guys for worshiping with us. We'll see you guys at 7:30 tonight for the after party. So see you guys then.